What is up? Welcome to the JSON API hotel reservation backend lesson, right? And basically today we are going to take a look at configuration, right? Configuration, it's a very simple concept, but it's actually over-teached, right? It's basically over-engineered, right? And I'm going to teach you, well, I'm going to show you how it 99% of the time is being done in production environments with companies, right? Because you can see all these YouTube tutorials and configuration and structures and orchestration and no, that's, you can forget everything, right? I'm basically a backend engineer for 15 years, maybe a little less, 12 years, I think. And I never ever needed to do complex things. And I worked for big companies, and even still as of today, with Trading Light, which we are microservice architecture, we have multiple services. Yeah, we don't do that. Right. So how does it work? First of all, we're going to check main, right? So in our main.go, let's first check what kind of configuration we need. We have a Mongo database, right? Let's make this basically here, right? Like this, let's say configuration, right? First of all, we're going to have, or is that visible? Yes. First of all, we're going to have our Mongo DB endpoint, right? Most of the time it's going to be the same, but you never know, right? You never know. So it's a very good thing to basically make that configurable, right? The next thing we need is basically the address, the listen address of our HTTP server, right? Very important. We already have some kind of a flag thingy built in here. What is this? But you're never going to use flags most of the time, right? Most of the time you're going to use environment variables. You're going to use something that's called, I don't know, I think it's the 12-factor app or something, configuration thingy. It's a funny name, but you're going to use environment variables. You're not going to use flags. Most of the DevOps, they hate flags, right? And then, correct me if I'm wrong, I think we have another configuration file, which is going to be the GWT secret. Is that true? I think so. Let's search for secret. Yeah, GWT secret here. You see, OS get env GWT secret, right? Cool. So how are we going to do that? Well, let's focus on the file explorer here. We basically going to refactor a little bit of our code because we are having some flags. We're going to remove the flags for the HTTP port, and we sorry, I'm a little bit, I'm not sick, but not 100%. But hey, still need to do things, right? There is no excuse. You can be sick, you can be depressed, you can be sad. Nobody cares. So you need to do whatever you need to do. With all these coughing problems that arise. Sorry to waste your time, but we're going to do some stuff, right? So let's go to main here. Yeah, this thing, this flag, we're going to delete this thing. No flag anymore. Yes, then we have a db URI, that's fine. We're not going to do that. We're going to say... what's going on with this db URI? Let us see real quick. Oh yeah, it's here. So we're going to delete that because we don't want that. Maybe the db name. We're going to delete everything, right? If we delete everything, and we're going to do a make run, then we're going to have some problems, right? The first thing is this here. Booking store. It's all going to take this db name. That's bad, but what we could do is go to db here, yes, and make a func init maybe, right? And in this func init, actually, to be honest, guys, yeah, that may be fine. Maybe gonna refactor that. You could say db name is going to be os getenv. Let's call this Mongo db name, right? That's fine. Let's do this. var db name string. Something like that, right? Make run. Oh man, crazy. Let's go to main.go because we have some problems here. That's the same thing. We could say db name. That's fine. Make run. All right. And then we're going to have a problem, the listen address, right? So the listen address is going to sit somewhere here, right? Listen address, do we need that somewhere else? No. That's fine. App listen. So what we're going to do is we're going to say that the listen address is going to be, this is the reference, we can delete that. We're going to say it's going to be the OS getenv. We're going to call that, we can say listen adder, right? It's fine. Listen adder, just like that. Of course, this needs to be a new variable. That's fine. And if we make run, that should be completely good. But you have a problem because our MongoDB is not set, right? So how are we going to fix that? Well, what we're going to do is basically, a couple things you could do, but because you need to think about it some way. The DevOps team, you need to basically, I'm going to show you how it's done, right? So what I did, right? What we needed to do at the company I worked for, which was microservices, we needed to specify a README, right? And we needed to specify, for example, the project environment and environment variables, right? And what we're going to do is something like this, these things, paste that in, and we're going to say the listen adder. Damn, this is actually bad. Somebody should just subscribe to the channel. I'm going to kill the notifications. Hey, live on this lesson, isn't that amazing? What a beautiful day. What a beautiful life. Hey, so we're going to say the listen adder. I need to check in main what we did, by the way, because I'm listen adder. Let's make this listen adders. Let's make it cool. Actually, to be honest, boys and girls, you're going to say HTTP listen adders. That's actually much more clear to me, right? So we're going to say HTTP listen adder, right? And what you also need, what I always did was something like an example, right? Because you could give it a string or an int or whatever. And we're going to say it's going to be something like that, right? What's going on? Why is it not? Yeah, that's fine. Right. Then we're going to have a GWT secret, something like this, right? And that's going to be something super secret that nobody knows, right? What's the next one? It's going to be the DB name, the Mongo, because it could be different databases, but we are using Mongo right now. The Mongo DB name is going to be hotel. I think it's hotel reservation, all right? And yeah, that's fine, right? Something like that. To be honest, can we do a make test? Undefined DB URI, that's pretty fine. In our test, we don't set that, so we need to probably fix some stuff here, right? Is there something else? Let me open up main once again. I think these three are pretty fine. What you could also do is basically make some configuratable collections, but I'm not a big fan of that, right? Not a big fan of that, but I think the HTTP listen adder, very important, GWT secret, very important, and a MongoDB name. And also the Mongo URL, actually, to be honest. Do we have that? I don't think so. MongoDB endpoint. Let's make this 4, which is going to be the MongoDB name, right? It's going to be a reservation or something. We know what it is, right? Why is it basically joining the lines when I press save? It's crazy. All right, cool. MongoDB, I'm going to call this URL, which is going to be default. That's a good question. What is the default MongoDB? And I'm uploading the UTX storage sheet, it's fine. MongoDB URL default. URL default. I'm going to zoom in a little bit here for you guys. Boom, boom. It's going to be the localhost 27017. That's fine. 27017. Localhost 2717. This one. This is a weird thing. MongoDB, it's actually, let's see. MongoDB, //localhost this port, right? That's what you're gonna do. It's a very important thing because I always did it in my readmes. So the DevOps team, because you're never ever basically going to deploy this stuff yourself even. I'm just teaching you how. This is basically just a simple JSON API. It's not a microservice or something, but still, if you need to make something, most of the time your company is going to have DevOps team, and you're going to make a nice README with all these variables listed. Most of the time, you're going to give them a little bit explanation, a little bit of a context, and then they will deploy that for you. Most of the time, they will even make the Docker file for you, right? But I'm going to make the Docker file in the next lesson together with you guys. So you know that, and we're probably going to deploy that to DigitalOcean, so you have a clue. But you're a backend engineer, you're a system engineer, you're a creative person, you're not a DevOps. Keep that in mind, right? It's good to know, but it's not necessary, it's not mandatory. All right, so the next thing is, instead of basically manually setting these variables, can be a little bit tedious, although the DevOps team will do that, right? In their system, Jenkins or something, most of the time they use. That's basically what we used, Jenkins, and they basically configure that. But for your development process, what you can do basically is make an env file, right? Let's make a new file. I'm going to call this env.env, right? Scripts, what is this? Oh, the seed is working. Yeah, we need to fix all that stuff later on, guys. Very important. And then we're going to open up a README here, right? And we're going to copy these things real quick and paste that in here. So now this is our listen address, is fine. Our secret can be this, why not? Nobody cares. This is that, and this is that. It's perfectly fine, right? So now we need to have a way to load that in, right? If you go to main, we can actually do that. First of all, we need to install something. I think I already have it open, just in case my emails. That's actually not good. This is going to be this one, I guess. Copy. It's basically yoho go.env, the same as Ruby back in the day, for the people that remember. Yeah, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Press enter. Taken care of, and then what we're going to do is we're going to make a func init. For the people that don't know, and I think I covered this in the Golang Basics chapter, init is going to get called each time you need something from a file. It's going to load that file, right? The Golang compiler is going to load that file, and it's going to check for an init function, and it's going to load that first before anything else. It's going to first do this init function. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do something that the guys are telling us from this package sheet, and it's gof load, and it will basically defaultly load the .env file, right? So let's do that. If r is going to be go.env load, and the error is not null, we're going to say a log failout. The errors, of course, we're going to press enter. Hopefully VS Code can, yes, that's fine. So what we could do here real quick is do a make run. No models required, yoho.env to add it. What's going on here, to be honest? I think we need to do an at latest, not quite sure. Is that? No, it isn't. As a library, I see, it's this one we need. Ay, caraca de la corazón. Wait, can I paste this in? No, we can't. Go get github.com. It's gonna be, I'm gonna type it out, it doesn't really matter. Yoho go.env. Yeah, just like that. God damn it. Press enter. It's fine. Save this thing. It's all fine. Let's make run to see what's going on. The scheme must be MongoDB. The question is are we listening to this, to the good stuff in DB? MongoDB name. That's fine. MongoDB localhost is also fine. but I don't think we check MongoDB URL, by the way. I don't think we use that stuff. Let's kill these screens here. Where are we? DB name. That's the DB name. Yeah, I see. But that's apply URI. That's not the DB name, right? That's going to be... It's for connecting. So I'm not... We're going to say this, right? Mongo endpoint is going to be OS getenv Mongo DB. I have no clue. I need to check. I'm forgetting MongoDB URL. Okay, cool. That's fine. That's what we're gonna do. And close this thing here. And then we're gonna say here MongoDB endpoint. Just like that. Perfectly fine. Let's see if that's gonna work. Yes, it's perfectly fine. You can see that we are at port 3000 here, right? So what if we open up our .m file here? I'm gonna say no, we're gonna do, for example, 333. Make run once again, and now we are running at 333. That's as easy as it is, guys. That's how it is. That's like I said. Trust me on this one. The DB name is this, and then there's something super secret that nobody knows is our GBT, which is perfectly fine. Then we're gonna see at seed. There's a problem here. Yes, that's fine because we're using DB URI, and if we check main here, we know that we're using this thing. So I'm gonna paste that in. Maybe do a var to make this clean, right? Save that and put that in here. Mongo endpoint, save that. Kill this, save this, clear this, make seed and see if everything is working. Apparently not. Okay, cool. Why? Very important. Our seed is basically a complete new script, right? It's a new main. So we also need to go load the env, right? And we can do that here also, right? There's also an option. You could say go.env load here, right? The default thing. And if there is an error here and the error is not null, we can basically log fatal out the error, right? That's what we can do. Save this, make run, no, make seed, boom. Field must be set on operation. That's a problem. I think that we have a little of an issue with the DB name here. I don't think the DB name is getting loaded, in my opinion. This is actually a bad thing, what I do with this init. To be honest, can we do this? That would be even more savage. And I think we have a problem. MongoDB name, that's perfectly fine, right? MongoDB name, yeah, auto reservation. Yeah. I think we're Gucci. Make seed. The database field must be set on operation. Huh. I have Mongo running and everything, so that's fine. I have no clue what's going on. DB fields must be set on operation and make seed once again. Let me see what that is, right? I don't even not know where it's coming from, so I'm gonna basically just, what am I doing here? I'm gonna basically do a Control-C here and paste it actually just in my browser and see what's going on. MongoDB here. Some guy has the same problem. Let's zoom in, eh? Yeah, it's from the driver itself, they say. So it's coming from Golang. It's in seed is a problem here. That's fine, right? Let's see what this DB name is, by the way, right? Then we're gonna see. It's gonna be DB name. It's empty, right? That's actually a problematic problem, even though we loaded this. Mongo DB name, hotel reservation. FMT println Mongo endpoint. That's being set. Maybe that's a problematic problem which we cannot do inside of these things. Wait, this is the URL. That's fine. MongoDB name, right? Let's make seed. This is gonna work perfectly fine, I think. That's hotel reservation, right? That's fine. So if you do this, MongoDB name here. I think we're gonna be good. Yeah, of course, there's some other little problem. I'm gonna delete these logs here. Do we construct something? I think we do, right? It's all these stores, right? It's a little bit annoying here. That's the Mongo store. That's a little bit inconvenient here. We could do something like this. This is actually OS get env. It's what it is sometimes. Mongo DB name. Do it like that, actually. It's fine, right? Doesn't really matter. We have also a room store, hotel store. Probably do the same thing here. Probably a better way to do this. I'm gonna say this is the best, but it doesn't actually really matter, right? Because you're just loading that thing up. Of course, you could say, yeah, but if we change our MongoDB name, environment name, that's problematic. What you should do, right? If you really want to be a good programmer, right? I'm gonna say, I would probably not do it, guys. I'm gonna be honest here. I'm an honest person. You know that. I would basically leave it like this, because what are the odds somebody is going to change the MongoDB name environment? What could be the reason? None. Exactly. But still, you could make this, for example, you could make, you can expose that, right? You could say const MongoDB env name or something, and you could say this is going to be Mongo, a string basically, right? And you could say Mongo DB underscore name, right? What's going on? Can I please type an underscore name? Something like that, right? And then put this MongoDB env name. And then you can, it will reflect everywhere. But hey, for the sake of, if you want to do that, do it. It's actually much better, guys. It's the way you should do that, right? Yeah. But don't be afraid. I mean, do it. Do it, guys. It's better. It's better. Do we need to still do this thing? MongoDB store. What do we have? Mongo admin? No, we don't. What kind of storages do we have? I actually don't know. Room store, hotel store. I think booking. I think booking. We lost booking, right? Let's do booking here. Booking store. Yeah. I'm going to say DB name. It's going to be. Let's type it out. OS get env Mongo DB name, right? Just like that, and then delete this, db name, just like this, boom, right? Perfectly fine, make run. It's gonna work. Of course, we need to do the make seed because that's gonna hit everything. Boom, 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 everything is fine. Okay, so now to make this actually cleaner, let's go to db, right? And this is db name, we don't need this anymore. What we're gonna say is const, and actually we can put it here. We're gonna say mongo db name env name. Hey, the MongoDB name, env name. What's the environment name of the MongoDB name? I think that makes sense. It's going to be MongoDB name, right? Like that. Caps lock Y. Just like this, right? And then we need to go back to all these storages here, and then we can change that. Because I'm going to do it good, so nobody can pitchfork me, right? We're going to say MongoDB name, env name. Same for the user store. MongoDB, env name. You could do a find and replace, but hey, we're having fun, right? Isn't it? MongoDB name, env name. And then for the booking store, the same thing. MongoDB name, env name, right? Save this, make seed. DB name is a problem. Test helpers, we need to fix that, right? Client database. So what we are doing, we are building our project. We started small. We added more stuff. We didn't actually fucking care about configuration. We didn't care about nothing, right? But now we are ending our project. We want to deploy it. We want to give it to our DevOps team. Now we need to make it good. Make a nice README with all the environment variables. Get rid of all the fucking flags. Make everything nice, right? This is a tear down. We could actually do this. Let's get env db env name. Just like that. And let's see if I can wait with this db name, this test name. We're gonna delete all that stuff. I'm gonna do a make seed real quick. That's problematic because then testdb, yeah, this is basically our test thingy. That's gonna be the same. DB URI is going to be os getenv mongo db test. Wait, let me open up env real quick so I can see. There's going to be the URI and there's going to be db URL. We could do this db URL test. Right, we're going to make that test. So what we're going to do, we're going to copy this, paste that in, underscore test, and we're going to name the same. Normally, your test is probably the database you want to test against. It could be your dev setup, it could be something else, staging, whatever. I think you guys know already what you need to do, right? You could make it a MongoDB URL production, a MongoDB URL staging, a MongoDB URL development, a MongoDB URL test, right? You can do whatever you want, but just we're going to keep it simple and keep the same, right? MongoDB URL test, it's going to be db URI, right? Make, clear the screen, make test. We have a failure because we have a wrong scheme. Because we don't have... okay, cool. We also need to basically load our environment variables here at test, right? So instead of doing setup and thing, what we could do is func init here. I think that's a little bit better suited. We're going to say go.env.load r nil log fatal r. Node, what is this? Open. It's just probably trying to load that from We have a .env. Not quite sure what's going on here. I think we are in a test file or something. Maybe it treats it differently. But to be honest, guys, I'm gonna be very honest here. Make test, gonna try it again. It's gonna be the same problematic thing. But you need to understand that in your test case, it doesn't really matter, right? So what you could do is, if I do a make run, make test, is it set? It isn't. Oh yeah, we deleted that. I see. What I would do basically for testing, actually I want to make it work like it should. Maybe at setup, right? Can we do that at setup? That is not null, yeah. We can actually t-fail here. We could actually t-error. Yeah, why not? It cannot help. It cannot open .env. What's going on? It is a thing, basically. This is actually done. That's nice. It's for you guys. Let me quickly see. Oh, man. My tweets on this. Yeah, I see. We can give that. That's fine. It should be this, right? This is weird. Well, it's actually working, so that's good. We have a problem, to be honest. Run is fine. We fail at test admin get bookings. But before we fix that, now we have a beautiful test setup, right? We have our .env file. We're gonna see what's going on there. We have our beautiful .env file where all our configuration is stored. You just need to adapt that, right? We have a README. You could say this MongoDB URL test for the... actually, to be honest, why not? We can actually copy that, for example. Open up our README because maybe they want to do some CI or something, right? So now the DevOps team is completely aware. Now is everybody that's going to use your product is completely aware what kind of environment variables it needs to set. A very important thing I want to show you guys, and this is actually very important, maybe the important lesson there is. This .env file needs to be in the git ignore, right? .env, right? You can never, ever, ever, ever in your life, and I'm going to repeat, you can never, ever, 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 ever in your life commit a .env file. It's bad, right? What can you do is copy this, paste that in, right? And you could say, you could rename this .env.default or something, right? And what you could do is delete, for example, your secret can be gone, hotel reservation is fine, and these things is fine, right? You see? So all your important variables that cannot be exposed to the outside public. Nobody cares about the port. Nobody cares about the DB name and the DB URI. DB URIs is 99% of the time, it's going to be the same for everyone, right? But your GWT secret, we don't do that, right? It's just a good practice. So what's going to happen is, right, if you do now git status, right, you're going to see that .env default is going to be added, but not the .env file itself. This is your env file, right, for your locally. The DevOps not going to use it, right? They will add it to Jenkins or to their configuration system to deploy, right? Whatever auto-scaling stuff they use, I don't know, right? Cool. We have a problem. We're going to resolve that problem in the next episode real quick. And yeah, thanks for watching. See ya. Bye-bye.